My name is Annah Sork, and I am presenting on my big ideas of education. I will be focusing on David A. Kolb, who's a theorist responsible for the experiential learning model, as well as contributions to several other main theories in education, and then also on Neil D. Fleming, who is the theorist who created the VARK model, which identifies that students can require any of 4 different individual learning needs in order to be successful learners in the classroom. So starting with David Kolb, a brief biography. He was born December 12, 1939 in Moline, Illinois. He obtained his bachelor's from Knox University in 1961 and then followed up with his master's and his PhD from Harvard in social psychology. He's married to his wife, Alice Kolb, and he's the founder and chairman of the Experience-Based Learning Systems Incorporated. David Kolb created the experience-based learning model, which follows 4 steps. Those steps are concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and then also active experimentation. The premise to these steps is that they must function in this order, and then they're completed once the learner has moved through all 3 actively. The concrete experience is step 1. It's a new experience or situation that's encountered by the student or a reinterpretation of an existing experience. Once the learner passes that, it can move into reflective observation, which is the experience, this is the most important part of this model, because if there are any it addresses when there are any inconsistencies between the experience and the understanding. It also includes reviewing and reflecting on the experience. Then you move to abstract conceptualization, which is concluding and learning from the experience. This reflection gives rise to new ideas or modification of an existing abstract concept, or something the person has learned from a past experience. And then the 4th step is active experimentation, which is where the student plans or tries out what they've learned. This is characterized by the learner applying their ideas to the world around them to see what happens. And that summarizes the experience-based learning model. Next, we're going to move on to Neil Fleming. He was born in 1939. He taught both secondary and university, and is well known throughout New Zealand for his impact on the learning system and education system in New Zealand. And his hobbies include raising his grandkids, honey farming. He has 2 active beehives on his urban property. He also tends his collection of 80 heritage roses, and he enjoys making wood furniture. His main contribution to education has been that he expanded on the neuro-linguistic programming model to create the VARK model. VARK stands for video, audio, reading, text, and kinetic. Although VARK's been around for quite a while theoretically before Fleming capitalized on it, Fleming was responsible for creating the first inventory to assess what type of learners someone was, and then he also created a what it means. So he was able to move past just that identifying inventory onto help teachers and people understand what their learning model says about them. So visual learners tend to learn by seeing. Audio learners tend to learn by hearing. Reading tends to be they absorb what they read. They're often a photographic memory. And then kinetic is learned by doing. Fleming actually took the VARK model from his original model, which focused on visual, audio, kinetic, and he broke the visual into both visual seeing and then visual reading to kind of differentiate. And that's my presentation.